What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are doing the second round of the post-Sam Darnold mock draft. Now, I've seen some of your comments, and mainly I've been getting feedback on the Greg Newsome versus Devontae Smith thing, and I have my doubts about that. So obviously, we could have just stayed here at 20 and taken Devontae Smith and had the Eagles sit back here and get Greg Newsome or something like that. But you know what? We're gonna progress on. We're not going to do anything different. We're going to progress on. We're going to continue. Obviously, this trade up for Eric Stokes is kind of a necessity, but it was just another thing that I was a little bit worried about. But all the other picks, I think, are perfectly fine. You know, obviously, I had a little bit of pushback with the Christian Darrisaw thing, but, you know, I'm going to stand my ground on that one. I think overall, we did a pretty good job. Just these two. Obviously, the Cardinals pick is the only one I've been really getting feedback on. But, hey, we still got some good picks. We still got some good value. And we still got a really good player who fits the perfect need for us. So number 33, the Jaguars are on the board, and there's a couple routes we could go here. So obviously we can go a slot weapon right here in Elijah Moore, who's a beast, by the way. I absolutely love Elijah Moore. Or we can go Eichenberg, who is one of my favorite tackles in the draft, apart from his arm length, but he uses his length well enough to where I'm not really worried about it. Or we can also go Pat Freiermuth, which, you know me, I'm not really huge on Pat Freiermuth. Again, I still think he's worth a mid-second, but definitely nothing close to being at here. So when I'm looking at it, we could go Azeez Ojulari and just say, fuck it. We're not going to do that, though. It's a little bit over the top. For me, I'm honestly going to rock Eichenberg here. I think that you want to get a stable line. And usually in the second round, I do this. And of course, this is probably would be like a flipped pick right here, because usually I'd get like Eichenberg in the first and then Trevon Merrick in the second. But obviously, the Falcons now have draft capital to move up and select that. So Eichenberg's going to be the pick. Again, you need to solidify the offensive line. If Eichenberg doesn't work at tackle, you could, of course, move him to guard. But he is the most technically sound tackle I have ever seen coming out of college. So honestly, I think he's worth a top 25 pick, even with his arm length. He uses everything really well. And again, the only thing that really matters is how you use your length, because if there's a 34-inch arm tackle who uses 32 inches versus Eichenberg, who has around like 32 and a half, and then he can use 32 and a half, I'll take the 32 and a half inches any single day of the week. I know there could be quite a few jokes in the comment section about that. Next, with the Jets, there are a couple routes we can go. First, we can get a corner. You know, Kelvin Joseph did test very well. There's plenty of routes that we could go with the Jets. I don't think that we need to do it right now, though. At this spot, this could be an interesting spot for us. We could go wide receiver here as well. I don't think we have a very good slot weapon, so Elijah Moore would be a very fun one. We could also go linebacker. Again, you got Jared Davis, but you got him for a year, and Jared Davis hasn't proven anything in the NFL. So getting a guy like Nick Bolton or Zaven Collins would be quite fun. Honestly, it's something I'm starting to lean towards, because Zaven Collins would be like a really, really fun option. I want to make this draft a little bit different. So it's not something that I'm trying to be stereotypical with the amount of trades that I do or anything. So I'm definitely looking at a very unique pick here for the Jets, because we already got Owe here. And usually I go like Elijah Vera Tucker a little bit earlier, but that's not going to happen because Elijah Vera Tucker's gone. We could definitely go guard, though. We could also trade back and get a guy like Wyatt Davis, who could definitely develop into a very high-end guard. So it's up in the air right now. I want to look at the guards right now. Honestly, I think a Trey Smith in the third could be a better value, or a Creed Humphrey, who can have that versatility to move to center once he actually understands the game a bit better. So we have options. That's the best thing. We have options. So looking at teams that could want to move up, because again, the Jets traded down before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they traded down, collected a next year 3, which probably should have been this year 3. But I mean, we have so many options that there are teams that could use a guy like Azeez Ojulari. Honestly, I'm thinking the Falcons could go back-to-back edges, because of the fact that you do run a 4-3-3-4 hybrid scheme now with Peas, and you guys definitely could use an interior 3-4 defensive end as well as a 3-4 outside linebacker, because I don't believe Harold Landry is going to be there for too long. We could also see the Dolphins moving up for Elijah Moore. That's something that I'm actually very, very adamant upon. I think that the Dolphins could definitely use that. You know, obviously we look at what the Dolphins did earlier in the draft. They got Kyle Pitts. That's great. great value. But this is a sticky spot. And Jets fans, I want you guys to bounce back on this pick because I know you guys have Blake Cashman there as well, but I'm not really. I mean, you guys wouldn't have brought in Jared Davis if you thought Blake Cashman was the future. He's an excellent guy as a rotational linebacker, but I don't know. You might just want to take the most like poofed up guy in the draft in Zaven Collins. Like he's an absolute beast. Or we could just say the Eagles can move up. I mean, we don't need to go this route at all. There's plenty of routes that we could go. And there's plenty of routes that I like. Honestly, I might be willing to trade back again and actually get some better value. Gregory Rousseau would be quite fun too. So this is a tough spot. This is a really tough spot because I usually get like an ETN here. But again, you guys aren't really a huge fan of me getting ETN. And honestly, I don't know if ETN is a really great value for this roster that probably needs a little bit more than just ETN. We could also go a tackle here. We do have guys like Jalen Mayfield on the board who has stub arms. It's a little bit unfortunate. This entire draft class is stub-armed linemen. Dylan Radunes is one of the few that does not have that much of a stub arm, not stud arm, by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a little bit stuck here, guys. I'm a little bit stuck, but I'm gonna look at cornerback round 2. So it's down to wide receiver and linebacker right now, and I'm going to be honest. You know what? We're going to say the Eagles could try to move up to get a linebacker. We could even see the Falcons try to get a linebacker. We're going to rock Zaven Collins here. Just a very interesting pick. We're getting elite type of weapons potentially on this roster. I think Zaven Collins is worth a top 20 pick in the draft. Realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 20 in this draft. He can pass rush inconsistently, but he can definitely pass rush. He has that ability. He has the best zone coverage skills I've ever seen from a linebacker. And then he also has competent speed, 4.6 speed, which is, it's not horrible. It's pretty solid. I think he's a really good player overall, man. Again, I've heard some things on campus and then in the locker room about him being a little bit of a cancer, but dude, honestly, I think that Robert Saleh will be able to get him into shape. CJ Mosley will be an excellent mentor as well. So big fan of Zaven. Just make sure his motor is at its peak, and then we'll be on the right track. Now, the Falcons are sitting here, and I mean, I could still even rock an outside linebacker at this pick. I would not be surprised. Now you have Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson, as well as Kwity Paye on that interior. Absolutely. I could also see them going a running back, though. You still got Javonte Williams here. I don't think that's the right route. I don't believe that's the right route. If we're going to be honest, it's like, I don't think you guys are, well, you guys can be built for an RBBC, but it's not, you already have Mike Davis, right? So you guys just paid Mike Davis. Do you want to go running back in the second? Because ETN would be a pretty solid option to be a very good complement back to Mike Davis. You guys need to bounce back on that opinion because that's a very intriguing one. I could also go corner here, but this might be a good spot. I mean, we already traded back so many times. We could just go Azeez Ojulari here as well. I wouldn't mind that. We could also go safety with a guy like Richie Grant, which would be good, but I don't think we need to do that at this pick. Jamar Johnson, I think, is an amazing fit as well. So you know what? Let's rock let's rock Azeez Ojulari. We already got our interior. Now we can get our outside linebacker. Did I say kiss Harold Landry goodbye? That was a comment that I would always make for the Titans, but no, we could definitely get another outside linebacker to be blitzing because again, I think we have 3 good linebackers. I think Michael Walker could be a middle linebacker in this 3-4-4-3 hybrid. Azeez Ojulari is going to be an excellent guy, especially since you're not going to force him to do anything. I think this could be an interesting spot to do this, and I don't know. He could work as a 4-3 outside linebacker as well. It's also why I'm pretty happy with this pick. Azeez Ojulari. So very interesting. We have taken our first 2 picks on pass rush with Kwity Paye and Azeez. You guys might not like that. I don't know if I like that too much, but it was interesting. It's an interesting one. It's one that's actually something that you could do, especially since both of those positions are ones of need. Marlon Davidson was taken last year and hasn't been the most impactful from what I've seen. You guys can bounce back on that, of course. But at this spot, it's down to Javonte Williams or Elijah Moore. And to be honest, I'm going to secure our RBBC running back in Javonte right here just to make sure that that we have like a consistent run game. He fits that role perfectly with that Jordan Howard, Kalen Ballage was supposed to. So now you have a really good rotation with Mike Gesicki, not Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin, as well as Salvon Ahmed. And I think that's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be a pretty damn good running back core. And again, we're just trying to alleviate Tua from having to just carry the world on his back. We're gonna have to get an offensive lineman though, potentially as like a center or something later on. This is gonna be a tough one trying to squeeze in all these prospects. At number 37, the Eagles are sitting here, and it's down to a corner with Asante Samuel Jr., or else we can go a linebacker and Nick Bolton. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because if I'm going to be honest, I could get a Tyson Campbell round 2 and be perfectly fine. You guys are running a cover 2 zone, if I'm not mistaken, given the fact that you did bring on the Colts secondary coach. So I think we could target Ifeatu Melifonwu if we wanted to trade back into the first. Again, we traded back a lot. So now we can trade back not into the first, into the second. We can trade back into the second for a guy like Ifeatu Melifonwu. We can go for a Paulson Adebo, who tested in the 4.4s, who has actually pretty damn good ball skills as well. So if I'm going to be honest, we're not going to go a corner here. We're going to secure our linebacker spot. Nick Bolton's going to be the guy. He definitely has room to grow. That's why he's probably going to be taken here. I'm a fan of Nick Bolton personally. He definitely has enough talent. And honestly, we are going to bring up the free agents tab just to make sure, free agency tracker by the NFL, just to make sure that teams haven't picked up some of these guys. So obviously we can go and look at the Falcons. I'm pretty sure they haven't done too much. So yeah, they got absolutely nothing in my eyes. So they got definitely some backup rotational dudes. Again, Mike Davis was the one that I remembered. Again, 2-year 5.5 definitely doesn't mean that he is the guaranteed starter, but there is definitely enough there to where I feel comfortable keeping Mike Davis as a lead back and then potentially getting like a Michael Carter later on. Just a thought. And then obviously with the Eagles, we'll see what they did. Of course, we got a bunch of pop-ups here because that's what the NFL likes to do. And yeah, we already know they didn't really do too much besides Anthony Harris signing, which is amazing. I love that deal. So now we're sitting here with the Bengals, and this is one I did. This is a draft I did before. I actually got Kyle Pitts at the number 5 pick, and honestly, the draft turned out a lot better than if I went Penny there. Because I'd be looking at a wide receiver here, but the best one's Dyami Brown. This could be a spot I trade down because I'm not comfortable with any of these linemen at this pick. And again, I honestly could rock Joe Tryon at this pick as well, or Gregory Rousseau, but I kind of want to chill off on that for the time being. Of course, now it's freezing. That's wonderful. As you guys can hear, the computer is going ballistic. So we could be trying to move down here. There are guys like Kadarius Toney on the board who are very, very good weapons. And I could see a one-spot trade down with a team that just lost Curtis Samuel, and Kadarius Toney could fill that role really well. So I want to get a bigger wide receiver, and let's first trade down with the Panthers. The Panthers probably are going to want to trade up. Let's see what they did in the first. They got Rashawn Slater. They could definitely use a corner as well. Don't get me wrong there. They could definitely use a corner, but I think we could trade either back into the second or else there's enough depth in this class to where I feel pretty comfortable with that. We're actually trading down with the Bengals, and then we are going to be trading up one spot with the Panthers. It's a minute trade, but honestly, we're going to send a future like 6th in with this. It's not going to be that big. A future 7th. It's a one-spot trade down. It's just to secure. The Panthers now have their chance to get their guy in Kadarius Toney to be in the slot. Let's just make sure that the Panthers have not filled in that role because, again, I don't want to make anything extremely stupid. Again, Cameron Irving's not going to replace that role. Yeah, they have not replaced David Moore. Really? You think I'm going to stop taking Kadarius Toney because of David Moore? Kadarius Toney's going to be the pick. Elijah Moore could definitely be it, but I think Kadarius Toney's more that Curtis Samuel type. And he ran the 4.4s. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, Elijah Moore, really good, but I'm going to be rocking that for the time being. Now the Bengals, I still honestly kind of want to trade down here because I have actually 2 players in mind for the Bengals on their offensive line, and I think they all can be taken at a different spot. So there are guys like Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey, again, Elijah Moore. I'm seeing the Dolphins sitting in there, and I believe the Dolphins have already traded up once, so I don't think it's that fair to trade up that far. But there are guys like Etienne, Onwuzurike on the board, who I have more like a mid-third on just because of the fact he hasn't played in a year. I don't think people are factoring that in too much. Gregory Rousseau is also on the board. There's a lot of guys who could definitely be very big assets to their team. I'm looking at the Broncos as well. They could be trying to move up to secure a linebacker, which I don't think they need to. But let's see. What other guys are on the board? Rondale Moore is still here. So I'm looking at the Patriots and saying, you guys could get a Rondale Moore as well. You guys did get Jalen Waddle, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys don't need that. That's helpful. Again, Amari Rogers on the board. There's plenty of dudes who I could see a team trying to move up for. Pat Freiermuth. We could see the Jaguars move up here to select them. Again, none of these teams will probably take a tight end, but there is the chance that a team like the Patriots could, well, not the Patriots, but a team like the Chargers could move up for a tight end. But again, not really too likely. Trying to see what an actual trade could be here. I honestly think we might just want to sit at the spot. I think the Bengals are going to sit. They're just going to sit. They're going to take a guy, and they're going to take Wyatt Davis. He's a developmental guard. I don't think that you really want that much development right now. Again, we have Penei Sewell, who's also developmental, but I think that you get somebody who has potential to be an absolute stud later on. But to be honest, I kind of like some of these later guards. Whew, it's a tough one. I am going to trade down with a team that does need a wide receiver, like a Rondale Moore. That team's going to be the Lions. Lions are going to be trading up a little bit here, guys. Very, very minute trade up, but they got Jamar Chase. They could also use another wide receiver. I think going back-to-back wide receivers wouldn't be a horrible thing. But damn, that really fucked my draft philosophy. I'm trying to find a team that actually could use somebody. Most of these teams have addressed most of their needs in free agency, which is I mean, it's beneficial to them, but a little bit unfortunate to me. Honestly, the Lions can move up for a slot corner, though. They definitely need the help there. I think that's where they're going to rock because, again, we have a lot of interior defensive line on the board. Still got Davis Mills and stuff. We're gonna move up. We're gonna move up with the Lions, and you guys might not like this pick if we're gonna be honest, but it's gonna be a small trade up with the Leones. And again, you guys need all the picks you can get, so we're gonna trade in a 5, and then we're gonna ask for maybe a 6 in return. Again, it's a super small trade back, and we're giving up a bit of capital, so we're gonna actually ask for the 190 pick. We're basically just moving back a little bit to move up a little bit now, which is perfectly fine. And we're going to be selecting a slot corner, and that slot corner is Elijah Molden. Most of the NFL views him as the best slot corner in the draft, and this team desperately needs it. I would look at a Shaun Wade as being a really good slot corner duo, but I just think Elijah Molden's a little too good to pass up on. He's an excellent player in man as well as zone, and he can also be really good in the run game. I want to make this a little bit different, a little bit more fun. So with the Broncos sitting here on the board, this is a tough spot. We could get a corner here just for extra depth, but I'll be looking at linebacker. Jabril Cox could be a very interesting target. I'd look at the interior defensive line, and this is where I could see the first guy going, besides obviously Christian Barmore. Levi Onwuzurike could be a really fun one on the interior. You know, obviously he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not going to be in that 300, 350-pound range. But if you put him in there and you allow him to work with all the other really good pieces in there, I think it could be a really good option. I wouldn't mind it too much at all. We could also get a running back because you guys did lose Corey Lindsey. So I want to see what the Broncos actually did to address this position. So we'll see. Broncos, of course, you guys went to the bottom of the page. Let's see. They got Mike Boone. Okay, like, that's the best thing in the world, right? Mike freaking Boone. Yeah, we're gonna pull a curveball here. We're gonna get Travis Etienne, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually gonna do one other thing for you guys. You guys are gonna get a behind the scenes look at exactly what I do. Of course, it doesn't type in Broncos contracts like I actually wanted to, because we're gonna go to sporttrack.com. Sporttrack.com is where I always search up everything for the Broncos and then every single team. We're going to see exactly what they have in that running back core. So, yeah, Melvin Gordon, to me, again, he's only there for one more year. We actually have nobody past this year. I'm actually 100% down for this. This is going to be a very interesting pick for you guys. You guys are not going to like it. Travis Etienne, best running back left on the board. So, you're going to basically be giving Lance the best chance, no pun intended, at being able to be successful. And I like it. Bengals are now sitting here. We're going to select an offensive guard here. We're probably going to select Wyatt Davis. I like Darius Hutcherson later on, but I don't think we pass up on a guy like Wyatt Davis right now because I have a guy in the second that I really like for that center spot. Wyatt Davis it is. Also, we could use another guard. That you'll see a theme with this draft. Wyatt Davis, developmental guy, probably not going to be the best day one impact, but you know, for the guys on the board, he probably could be, besides Trey Smith, who we don't know about the medicals. With the Giants on the board, I could definitely stick at edge right here. I know you guys just invested a lot of money in your D-line, so it's not too far from the truth to try to get somebody to help enforce on that defensive front. Wide receiver could be something you guys want to do, but you guys already got Kenny Galladay. The team's pretty rocking. I'm going to go Joe Tryon here. Your team actually can take a shot on somebody, and I'm actually watching Joe Tryon. I believe it's actually right here. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. He definitely has a lot of potential. So getting Joe Tryon here, it's pretty much like the Jason Oweh pick that I always take. He's a very, very high ceiling prospect. I'm actually watching him, and his floor is actually pretty low. I have a concern about his motor, given the fact that he looked kind of trash the first 10 plays, but then he just lit it up. I don't know why. Maybe it's like a mind game that he gets him comfortable and just fucks him up. But I mean, cheers. He does a really damn good job. I could see the reason why teams are really starting to like this guy. At the Niners pick, I could definitely have us going for a guard here. We could look at a Creed Humphrey trying to move to guard where I think he fits best. But honestly, this should be a cornerback pick. And Kelvin Joseph's a really good guy. Asante Samuel, another really good guy. I'm going to go with the NFL favorite, Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. Bigger corner, more aggressive, going to be a really good fit into the squad. I'm a big fan of it. And the Cowboys are on the board, and I would probably go Levi Onwuzurike here. And I think that's the guy who's on the board. So we are going to go Levi Onwuzurike. You guys love the pick. It's definitely a really good pick. You guys have a lot of safeties already. And again, they're only on 1-year contracts, but getting Levi Onwuzurike will actually add somebody who has a lot of development to be put on that interior. Another guy I would target there is Milton Williams, who I'm an absolute fan of, but he doesn't really fit that 4-3 defensive tackle role. He fits it more as a 3-4 defensive end, which with the Jaguars, I wouldn't mind doing that. But, of course, now we have Elijah Moore as well as Pat Freiermuth here. We already know how garbage this tight end group is. We're getting Pat Freiermuth. You need a secure target. I'm a bigger fan of Brevin Jordan, but you need a secure target. And Brevin Jordan's more of that slot/inline tight end. I still think he's better than Pat, but I think this offense fits better with Pat. Next, with the Patriots, this could be anywhere, but I think we're gonna go corner here, and this is definitely an interesting spot because I can see him going a multitude of routes. Kelvin Joseph to me speaks Patriots because they went after K1 Williams, who was more of a project before out of Vanderbilt. Definitely a young, big, fast prospect. I think Kelvin Joseph in his 4-3 range could definitely be somebody that they're trying to develop. Again, the Patriots, they have a consistent rotation, but they are probably going to lose one of their 2 top guys. And I think Kelvin Joseph is the guy that they're going to be targeting. Big size, very fast, very raw. I have him more into that 4th round range, 3rd round range. But honestly, if the Patriots like him, they'll take him anyways. And I think that they probably will. So we'll see how it goes. Next with the Chargers, you guys are sitting there and I mean, you guys actually are pretty damn stacked. Again, I think that this pick should be Jevon Holland. You can use him as a corner. You can use him as a slot corner. You can also use him as a safety. You guys, I believe, did just lose Rashawn Jenkins as well as a multitude of other corners, which honestly leads me to think that you guys should probably go corner here. You guys did lose. Oh, you guys lost. Who'd you guys lose? You guys lost Casey Hayward and then I'm forgetting his name, Desmond King. So you lost your slot corner, as well as, of course, your number 1 corner. So I'm targeting potentially not Sean Wade, Asante Samuel here, but we could also go Jevon Holland because we haven't seen that progression from Nasir Adderley. Honestly, we're gonna go Jevon Holland. I like the fit a bit better. Honestly, it's definitely up in the air between those 2 guys. I'm a big fan of both. So getting Jevon Holland here, because again, I don't think you're really gonna find another target like Jevon Holland in this draft. So he's top 10 for both being a corner as well as maybe top 5 for being a safety in this class. So he definitely deserves to be worth this pick where both those spots are places that he could develop and grow in. Next with the Raiders, I could definitely see us going more of a center role right now because of the fact that, I mean, we obviously lost our main target. So obviously you guys want to see what the hell the Raiders been up to. They re-signed, actually they signed Nick Martin. That's my bad. I don't know how long Nick Martin's going to be there, but we could definitely look at more of a guard role because Denzel Good's not going to be the answer. And then Richie Incognito is going to be probably retiring after this year. So there's a multitude of routes we could go. We could also go slot corner here because Aaron Robinson could be an elite slot corner for you guys. I know that you have Jeff Heath over the top as your single high, which honestly, I could even see us going Jamar Johnson at this pick to be able to replace Jeff Heath. But We did lose LaMarcus Joyner, so we need a Sam blitzing linebacker as well as a single high safety as well as a slot corner. Do I think that slot corner is attainable in round 3? I'm not sure. Is a single high safety potentially available in round 3? I'm not sure. Both of these guys are probably going to be snatched up very soon. I like both these guys in their single high roles. Both of them have their own very, very good personalities and very good roles on their roster. Honestly, thinking a Chaz Surratt in the next round, using him as a Sam blitzing linebacker would be the best role. I don't think that he's the best player in the world. I gave him like a mid to late third. I think he could play a box safety if you guys want him to. But honestly, I think that's going to be the best route for us. Pete Werner as well. Really good linebacker there. So we are going to be going away from linebacker. We could look at a guard. There are some good guys on the board. We could look at a Trey Smith. But I honestly think getting a single high safety here with Richie Grant could be the best move. I think just the value is unbelievable there. And we could definitely still rock a slot corner next round. So let's do it. Let's go Richie Grant here. Very fast, very versatile safety. Now you have him and Abram there, and that's going to be pretty good, Jonathan Abram. That's going to be really a nice safety duo. That's going to definitely boost up this defense's capabilities. And again, that secondary was not too bueno, to put it simply. At 49, I don't know how this guy fell, but Elijah Moore's here. So I know that we need edge desperately, but we also need to fix up this wide receiver core desperately. We got Kyle Pitts there already, but Elijah Moore is just a little too good to pass up on. We will be addressing the edge position, but of course, with Joe Tryon off the board, this is probably the best player available. And the the Cardinals are on the board. This would have been probably Travis Etienne if he were here. He's not, so we don't need a center anymore. That's a plus. We could definitely go after a wide receiver though. Somebody who I think that could be a really good number 2 wide receiver. You guys were talking about how we should have gotten Devontae Smith. It's Dyami Brown. I could definitely still see us going after a wide receiver right here. And Dyami Brown, you guys should have seen it. He put AJ Terrell on skates, and AJ Terrell was like a top 20 pick. We're going to go Dyami here. I think he fits really well into this roster. Use Dyami on the outside, Christian Kirk, as well as, of course, DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, that's a really fucking good wide receiver core. So let's rock that. With the Washington football team, this is an easy-ass pick for me. Easy-ass pick. We're going Jamar Johnson. I absolutely love Jamar. That's the reason why I really took Richie Grant there, is because I knew Jamar Johnson or Richie Grant was this next pick. Like, we cannot take a chance as the Raiders to be able to let that go. I love Jamar Johnson. I have him comped to DeMonte Casey with more size and then also more height, which is a pretty damn big comp for him, but I love him. I love his ability. He definitely knows what the hell's going on. He's just not very good in the run support, and this team already has enough guys who are really good in the run support to where this is his best fit in the entire draft. I love this pick. At 52, the Bears are sitting there, and, well, the Bears need a corner. They need a number 1 corner, man. And I'm looking at him. I think we have to go Asante Samuel here. I could go Keith Taylor. That's a sneaky one at the spot, but we're going to go Asante Samuel. It's a bigger need than what people think. Just losing your number 1 corner to sign Andy Dalton, it's definitely something that I was considering even in round 1. So Asante Samuel Jr. going to be the guy here. At number 53, the Titans are on the board, and maybe we could get a wide receiver for them in Rondale Moore. And that's something I'm probably looking towards. Safety is another option that we could go, but I think all the good ones are off the board. Tight end is another one. We do have Brevin Jordan on the board. So it's Rondale Moore or Brevin Jordan. To be fair, I think like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Tylan Wallace, even a Seth Williams is going to be there next round. Like, the drop-off for tight end is just too huge. We're going to get Brevin Jordan here out of Miami to be in that Jonnu Smith role, who I think he is pretty much comped to Jonnu Smith. So that's pretty damn good. I love Brevin Jordan, too. He can also play slot if you guys want him to. At 54, the Colts are on the board, and we could definitely be rocking a multitude of routes here. We could go wide receiver with Rondale Moore, but you already have that kind of in Paris Campbell. We could rock a cornerback here with Ifeatu Melifonwu, which probably is going to be my pick. But we could also go an edge rusher with Gregory Rousseau, which I actually saw like a diagram that was talking about what the edge is looking like for the Colts. So now in the future, I'm starting to understand it. And honestly, this is something where it's a luxury pick. You don't need a corner because you brought Rhodes back. You don't need a wide receiver. You brought T.Y. Hilton back. Let's get Gregory Rousseau. Fuck it. Why not, right? At number 55, the Steelers are sitting there, and I wish I could have brought my Steelers Asante Samuel Jr. I'm going to be straight up honest. I wish I could have, but we can't. I'm going to be looking more into, we could even get Ronnie Perkins at this spot, but I wish we could also use a slot corner. But I'm not going to be reaching for a Paulson Adebo or Keith Taylor for us right now. We could definitely even trade back if we wanted to. So we already got our running back. We could definitely look at a tackle here with like a Leatherwood, but I'm not a fan of Leatherwood at all. Mayfield could be fun, but he has just stub arms, and he also, I don't think he even fits he does fit our like prototype. But I'm honestly looking at Spencer Brown here, and I think that it's a good spot for us to trade back and get Spencer Brown later on, man. I'm telling you right now, it's a really good spot for us to do that. And especially with like guys like Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey on the board, the Rams could be just trying to jump because they did lose Austin Blythe. Oh, actually, hold up. The Steelers lost their center. Hello. Idiot alert. Yes, Landon Dickerson's going to be the pick. As much as I want to go after Spencer Brown, we might trade up in the later rounds to get that. Landon Dickerson's going to be the guy. Definitely a really talented player. And losing Marquise Pouncey, which I totally bummed out on, that really hurts. And Landon Dickerson has an amazing personality, a really good work ethic, doing cartwheels like a couple months after an ACL surgery. So cheers to him, but absolute weapon. Love it. And the Seahawks, you guys lost your number one corner, by the way. So we could be looking at a corner here. Again, corners have just been flying off the board, so that's not going to happen. We could look at edge here as well with a Ronnie Perkins, but I don't think that you guys really need to. You guys brought back Carlos Dunlap, who also doesn't fit the same role as these guys. This is a tough, sticky situation right now. We could definitely, you guys, I believe, did lose Poona Ford. So that is another spot that we could definitely look at. We'll see your guys' signings. Gerald Everett, great. And you guys definitely tried to emphasize the offensive line, which is a really good start. But yeah, you guys, I believe, yeah, Kerry Hyder, Al Woods. I mean, I'm not, okay, you guys brought back Poona Ford. That's my bad. I thought you guys lost somebody pretty significant on your defense, and that's something that I'm a little bit bugging on right now. But we'll check back, and then we'll see what else you guys are dealing with right now, because there's a lot of good guys on the board that we could take. We could definitely take Jalen Mayfield still and use him in that guard or tackle position. That's something I would definitely consider at this spot, given the fact that you're kind of just trying to show Russ that you want him. Let's look at the tackle. They I think they just re-signed one of their tackles. No, that's not what I actually wanted to click on. They re-signed Cedric Ogbuehi, and honestly, Cedric is not the greatest player in the world. I'm going to go Jalen Mayfield here. Very high-end prospect that has a lot of potential. Love it. And the Rams are sitting here, and oh, do I dare? I'm like tossing and turning between a couple picks right here, because realistically, like these are the picks I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of not Ben Cleveland, Creed Humphrey here, which, I mean, I hate him as a center, but obviously the rest of the world loves him as a center. To keep it realistic, that could be the pick. Or we could go Quinn Meinerz. We could go Josh Myers as well, but I honestly might just go Creed Humphrey and just say fuck it, because, I know that you guys really like him. I hate Creed Humphrey, but that I like him as a guard as well. He has upside there. You guys lost Austin Blythe. To keep it realistic, this definitely should be the pick. So we're going to do it. Creed Humphrey, make sure that there's at least some protection there for Matt Stafford. So I think Matt Stafford can also eliminate the IQ issues of Creed Humphrey and basically point out the defensive coverages. That's going to be a big, big plus for Creed. And he also can learn, and I really want the best for him. So next at this spot, this is an easy pick for me. This could be Ronnie Perkins. I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's Osai or Perkins, and I don't think Osai really fits the Ravens as much as Perkins. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling. And I like Osai a lot. I still have like an early second on him. We're going to go Ronnie, though. I just think it's more of a fit issue than anything. Big fan of him. So at this next spot, we could definitely rock just Boogie Basham and just say fuck it. I want to look at what the Browns have done in free agency, because it's been a little bit. They brought Takk McKinley in there, which again, not going to be the answer to everything. We did just go linebacker earlier, which Jamin Davis, love that pick. They have been trying to look for a slot. They've been trying to look for a boundary corner, but I think that the best spot to go is a slot corner here. We could go Aaron Robinson, which again, they do usually run zone, but Aaron Robinson's a beast, man. I'm going to go Boogie Basham, though. I'm going to go Boogie because I know he's going to be taken in 2 picks or like within the next few picks because I know he's going to be at least gone by 64. So we're going to be rocking Boogie Basham here to be on that bookend to provide some really good value right there. Also, Boogie Basham could have been that pick. And number 60, I'm picking this in a heartbeat, Rondale Moore. I know we need linebacker, but if Rondale Moore is there, you take him. You take him. So that's a really good check down option. Next is 61. We got the Bills, and the Bills could definitely use a corner right here, but not really in the place for it. So we could definitely, this is a good spot to trade back, to be honest, given the fact that a lot of corners have gone. Again, if Ifeatu Melifonwu was on the board, though. Ooh, because we didn't take him as the Colts. I didn't expect that. To be fair, honestly, I didn't expect that as the Steelers either. We're going to rock Ifeatu Melifonwu here. He'd be an excellent Bill. If I'm going to be honest, he'd be an excellent Bill. Very athletic, very good zone corner, and he's going to work very well. I think they brought Levi Wallace back on a 1-year deal, but again, they're going to be cap strung very soon, and they're not going to be able to hold on to guys with big contracts. So at number 62, the Cheeseheads. Yeah, this is you guys got a kind of a steal in round 1, man. And in round 2, you guys could still get a really high-end linebacker, but your run defense was the problem. That's the problem. I think Pete Werner's the best run defender left on the board. That's a bit of an issue for me. We could definitely go interior defensive line here with the Davion Nixon or Milton Williams. Don't know if that's the best route in the world. Shoot. Because I know that you guys need linebacker or corner, and it's not looking too good, guys. I would look at a Tro Williams later on, maybe in the next round for us. Offensive tackle is another thing that we could target here. Like I don't want to go Leatherwood. So this is a toughie. We could definitely trade out of this spot and then get a guy like Baron Browning later on. I know that TDN has a straight up boner over Baron Browning. I don't really fully understand why, but I don't really I can't pull the trigger on a linebacker at this spot. We traded up before, we could trade back now. So I think that we could definitely we're gonna move back. We're gonna move back here. And there's a lot of guys who are really good that are left on the board. You got Joseph Asai here for a team that could use some pass rush in a 3-4. There's also guys like Davion Nixon here, Jabril Cox, Aaron Robinson for teams that need a slot corner. There are teams that could use one, and I'm looking at the Jets right now, and who the hell did the Jets pick up earlier? They got Zaven Collins as well as didn't they trade back? Yeah, they traded back and got Jason Owe. So obviously they got Zach Wilson too. We could address the offensive line with them, but honestly, we're gonna trade up with the Jets. We're gonna trade up, and again, I don't think a linebacker is gonna be really taken in these picks. So I think that we're gonna get the best value on the board. So the Jets are trading up with the Packers. So the Packers are going to get some value back because, again, they did lose some good old value there. So we're going to trade potentially our 6th-round pick. We're going to ask for the 7th in return just to make it a little bit more even. And to me, honestly, we're going to offer this 186 instead to make it a little bit more even. We're going to do that. We're going to see how they like it, and they should. So the Packers accepted the offer. And, I mean, to me, I just can't let Aaron Robinson fall any farther. Nickel corner is definitely a pretty big thing in the Robert Saleh defenses, and Brian Poole is gone. I'm going to make sure that the Jets did not, of course, bring back one of their dudes. But Sam Darnold, yes, it's dated, so we're good on that front. I don't believe they didn't really, I mean, they brought back LaMarcus Joyner. Jesus Christ. They definitely do have a role right there, but it is a 1-year role. So it is definitely interesting for me right now because we also could just go wide receiver as well. They kind of ruined some things for sure. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we still definitely might rock that role and go Aaron Robinson. You guys also do need a fix at free safety in the coming year potentially. So Aaron Robinson still going to be the pick. Really good run enforcer as well. That's a little bit unfortunate that I totally forgot about that signing, but we're still going to go with it for right now. We'll fix obviously all these issues we're going to be fixing later on. With the Chiefs, we could use a linebacker pretty badly. Don't know if Jabril Cox is the guy that we want here. We honestly might rock Baron Browning. Shoot. Because I don't think the wide receiver route's going to be the right route to go. We're going to rock Baron Browning at this spot. I think that's the right role. Let's do it. So next with the we're playing with house money right here, but with the Buccaneers, let's see what we can do. Edge route, is there anybody who I really think that should be this pick? No. Quarterback wise, we could just pull a Davis Mills right here and just say like, yo, I mean, do we need anything else? No. Could go Michael Carter or Kenny Gainwell. We did lose Antonio Brown, but I don't think that's really an issue. Tight end wise, I'm not really sure. We could definitely use a backup tight end. So we could definitely get some offensive line depth as well with an Alex Leatherwood. That might just be the best route for us to go right now. Just get some offensive line depth. And let's get Alex Leatherwood. Definitely somebody who needs some help. Could be a guard, could be a tackle. And again, the reason the Buccaneers were so good during the playoffs is their entire line was healthy. So getting a backup who could be a starter worthy is definitely going to be a good start there. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.